I'm about to tell you, I told you so. But I told you so. The reason why Diddy solved that problem or situation with Cassie as quick as possible is because these lawsuits that people put against you, often if there is any fabric of truth in these lawsuits and you've broken some type of crime, what happens after that is the federal government or the local state government or the local city government gets involved.
That's what happened with R. Kelly. It started with civil suits. Then HSI got involved, and they're the lead agency for human trafficking.
These civil suits are just like a silver platter for the feds.
Very helpful, very helpful.
Take these guys down. All right, well, we'll see how this plays out. Chris Hansen, Takedown with Chris Hansen.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so yeah. So apparently, remember when I told ya when the situation happened with Cassie, I said the reason why Diddy solved, or should I say, the reason why Diddy went and, gave her that money so quick so she get the heck up out of here is because if he didn't, and the contents of her complaint were made even more public, or the longer that they were public without him addressing them and trying to get her up out of here, the more of a chance he's gonna face criminal charges. Okay. Now, first thing I want to say is shout out to Rodney Lil Rod Jones. Also, when your name is Rodney, you shouldn't put little in front of your name. You can't be Lil Rod. That just doesn't work, fam. Especially if you belong to some kind of sex cult, because that's just giving off energy I'm not sure if you're fond of. With that being said, we're going to talk about this lawsuit and the claims against Diddy that have created the problems that he currently has, which, as you heard Chris Hansen say, this is the same exact thing that happened to R. Kelly. So for everybody that doesn't know, Lil Rod has, there are co-defendants that Lil Rod has also named, besides Sean Combs, and some of those co-defendants is Lucien Grange, Justin Combs, Sean Combs' son. Allegedly, his son was just as involved in the business as he was. It was just like this was a family business, allegedly. Ethiopia, I have no idea how to say her last name, but her first name is Ethiopia. Kristine Karam, for everybody that don't know, she is the chief of staff for, I guess, Diddy. I mean, I don't... her label's chief of staff. Also, Chalice Recording Studios. I'm assuming this is where some of the assaults might have happened. Love Records. I'm assuming Love Records because he worked on that album from September, I believe, 2022 to 2023. The Love album. Or was it 2021 to 2022? In any regard, he worked on it from September to September. It was the Love album, so I'm assuming it was Love Records. And Motown Records. Basically... I believe either Ethiopia or Katina Karam at one point or another was the head of Motown Records, and that's why they're being sued also. So just so we could be clear, let's think of some of the things, or let's discuss some of the things that have popped up in Diddy's life because I think he owed them, and if he's Diddy, I'm saying only, but for me, it's big bucks. But he allegedly owed them only $50,000 that he was refusing to pay to him. You see, this is how narcissists work. They believe everything that they do is right, even when they do things for the wrong reasons. They believe, well, even though I'm doing this thing and this thing that I'm doing is bad, it doesn't matter because you bad too. That's how narcissists think. You understand what I'm saying? They assume everybody is up to no good, so they assume any kind of foolishness that they're doing, it's okay, because you ain't up to no good either. Now, besides those people being co-defendants, let's discuss some other things that happened because of Lil Rod's claim, the Lil Rod's lawsuit. So Brendan Paul, for everybody that don't know, Brendan Paul is a ex-college hoops player. He played for Syracuse. He's been arrested. He got caught with drugs on him, but he's known, allegedly, if you listen to Lil Rod, to supply Sean Combs with guns and drugs. He was arrested in Miami. Besides that, just so we can be clear, Young Miami, Jade, I forgot her last name, and Daphne Joy were also outed as sex workers. I don't think Young Miami even knows that she was a sex worker, in all fairness. I think she just thinks she was a girlfriend. So I don't even know if we can call her a sex worker, in all fairness. I'm going to say this again. In all fairness, I don't know if Young Miami even understands she was a sex worker. So she might be able to get away from all of this, for everybody that don't know. Being dense sometimes, it could be a benefit. Daphne Joy might lose her son, just so we could be clear, because now 50 Cent is going after Syer, full custody of Syer. That's their son together. Now, besides that, there are a ton of things. Notice, okay, so his actual lawsuit claims that in the Miami, LA, and New York homes that he owns, it's not 3 homes. He owns multiple homes in some of these areas. There's hundreds of cameras in Diddy's homes. He says people are forced to do drugs. He's grooming them. Is all types of different sexual misconduct, he's saying. Diddy operated a sex trafficking venture. And that's basically what they're saying Justin Dior Combs is a part of. He apparently was like running it with his father. This was the family business, the sex trafficking. That's crazy. Also, Robin Greenhill, they're saying that she was responsible for paying the sex workers along with somebody named Frankie Santella. Brendan Paul, he's locked up right now because he ain't paying anything. And somebody named KK, I'm assuming they're not talking about Killer Kev. So basically, Justin Dior was one of the people who are the head of what they were doing. And just so we could also be clear, there was sex workers and there was underage girls. And what Lil Rod is saying is they would drug and traffic the underage girls. And when they couldn't drug them, they would use force, fraud, or coercion to get the minors to get into the commercial sex acts. Also, Jones was forced to hire sex workers in Miami. And the reason why this is a thing is because in Miami, sex work is illegal. So if Combs has homes in in Miami, and he's been throwing these parties in Miami. And this is not the first or the second time I've personally heard about people having to hire sex workers in Miami. That's a big crime. And remember, the more money you spend doing the crime, the more of a crime it is to the government often. They like, that was our tax money. You could have just gave it over here to us. Also in this $30 million lawsuit, and this was probably like the straw that broke the camel's back. He said Combs set him up to be assaulted by Cuba Gooding Jr. He said Cuba was touching and groping and fondling him. I guess he was trying to fight him off or whatever. I don't know. And then he says Mr. Combs had dominion and control. The reason why he's saying he wants to hold Puffy, Diddy, Sean Combs responsible for the Cuba situation is because allegedly they were on a boat where they was like doing music. So they was in the studio or whatever. And I guess he just invited Cuba over. He was like, yeah, Cuba, come over here. We got some new buns. And when he got there in Cuba, they're in the place. He said he left Cuba and him in the studio when the fondling, started or whatever the case is. And I want to say something before I finish this particular point. Remember, he said that he showed him video of your man Stevie J smashing some dude. So he gets off on dudes being smashed even if it's by other dudes. This is a whole power thing. I told y'all this in the beginning. It's a thing about power. It's about power with this guy. You understand? I'm just telling you what it is. Anyway, he says Mr. Combs had dominion and control over the actions of Cuba Gooding Jr., and he failed to step in and stop Cuba from sexually assaulting Mr. Jones. So I don't know how far it went. Maybe he had to, I don't know what he had to do to get off of that boat. So I don't know how far it went, but apparently it went somewhere where Lil Rod didn't want it to go. So I made this video just to say this. There are a lot of things going on with Diddy. Every single thing that I just told y'all is probably its own crime. Every individual thing that I mentioned is probably its own crime. I have no idea how anyone could get out of this. Remember, even Jeffrey Epstein went to jail before he died. Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I get on this one. I'm out.